Kessler Point Lighthouse was built in 1941 on the northeastern coast of the United States. It operated without incident for 46 years. In 1987, it was officially decommissioned, transferred to the National Historic Preservation Registry with no active maintenance budget. The light was turned off. The keeper's quarters were locked. The structure was left standing because tearing it down would have cost more than abandoning it. On paper, nothing unusual happened at Kessler Point. The file closes cleanly in 1987. The file is wrong. Before we get to what happened in 2019, you need to understand what MIREX was. During the Cold War, certain coastal installations in NATO-adjacent territories operated a secondary signaling protocol, not for civilian navigation, but for coordinating classified maritime operations. The protocol was called MIREX, Maritime Intelligence Relay Exchange. It was never publicly acknowledged. It was used by no more than 4 nations. Its existence was confirmed only decades later through documents released under the Freedom of Information Act, and even those releases were heavily redacted. MIREX had 7 operational codes. Each one corresponded to a specific status in an ongoing covert operation. MIREX 7 was the last and most severe. It meant one thing: the operation has been aborted. The agents will not be extracted. Not the agents are being extracted. Not extraction is delayed. The agents will not be extracted. MIREX 7 was transmitted from Kessler Point Lighthouse on 3 consecutive nights in October of 1973 during the height of the Yom Kippur War, when the North Atlantic was on maximum alert. 11 days later, 4 vessels disappeared from the northeastern coast: 2 merchant ships, 1 fishing boat, and 1 unidentified vessel that appeared in no port registry in the region. No wreckage was recovered. No bodies were found. The official government inquiry cited adverse weather conditions and closed the investigation 6 weeks later. Edmund Carver was the lighthouse keeper in October of 1973. When Kessler Point was decommissioned in 1987, Edmund Carver was never formally processed out of service. There is no resignation letter on file, no retirement paperwork, no record of a final shift. His name simply stops appearing in the operational logs after July of that year. The government's position, when asked, is that the transition was handled verbally. No one followed up.
We always figured it was a squatter. You'd see a light on up there, maybe some smoke from the chimney in winter. Somebody had gotten in. Nobody really wanted to go up and deal with it. It was far enough out that you just let it be.
Similar accounts come from at least 7 other residents of the surrounding coastal towns. The sightings spanned from 1989 to 2017. Not continuous, but consistent. A light in the window, a silhouette, smoke, always at irregular intervals, always dismissed. Edmund Carver would have been 71 years old in 2019. On March 14, 2019, an amateur sailor filmed the Kessler Point Lighthouse from his vessel while documenting a night passage along the coast. He posted the footage to a maritime hobbyist forum the following morning with the caption, "Thought this place was decommissioned. Why is the light running?" The thread received little attention for 2 days. On the 3rd day, a user with the handle Coastwatch _74 replied. His account had been active for 6 years. He had over 400 posts, mostly about navigation equipment and weather routing. His reply was 4 sentences long.
I recognize that pattern. I was trained to recognize that pattern. It was decommissioned before most of you were born, and I am not going to explain further in a public forum. I will say this: if anyone is planning to investigate that location in person, I would strongly advise against it.
Coastwatch_74 deleted his account within the hour. He has not reappeared under any known alias. The signal in the video was later analyzed by 2 independent parties, both with military communications backgrounds. Both confirmed the same thing independently of each other. The pattern was MIREX 7, 3 consecutive nights, identical to 1973. 6 days after the video began circulating in closed maritime communities, a United States Coast Guard inspection team was dispatched to Kessler Point. The official report, obtained 2 years later through a FOIA request, consists of 4 pages. 3 of those pages are completely redacted. The remaining page contains 1 substantive sentence. The structure was inspected and found to contain no evidence of recent human occupation or ongoing mechanical activity. Of the 4 Coast Guard personnel present during the inspection, 2 submitted requests for immediate reassignment to inland posts within the week. Both requests were approved without the standard review period. 1 filed for extended medical leave shortly after and did not return to active duty. The 4th remained in service. Colleagues who worked alongside him afterward describe a man who stopped discussing anything related to the ocean. Not in a dramatic way, just quietly, permanently. Kessler Point was fitted with a reinforced security lock the following week. The light has not been observed since. There is no confirmed explanation for what happened at Kessler Point in March of 2019. There is no confirmed explanation for what happened there in October of 1973. Edmund Carver has never been found. The 4 vessels that disappeared have never been found. MIREX 7 was officially retired in 1987. Whatever sent that signal knew that.